The cost of emitting carbon continues to escalate, demanding bold and decisive action from today's energy producers. As the owner of its own electrical generation and distribution, as well as hosting a concentration of industrial emitters, the City of Medicine Hat is particularly sensitive to changing emission standards and carbon costs. However, the city has an opportunity to offset, capitalize, and thrive in the low-emission economy of the future by becoming a hydrogen hub. Hydrogen is considered an attractive fuel source for the future as the only byproduct of its use is water. A hydrogen hub brings together local industry, businesses, and stakeholders to develop and deploy hydrogen and fuel cell projects. There are two major types of hydrogen being utilized today: blue hydrogen and green hydrogen. Both types of hydrogen are produced from the electrolysis of water, but the difference is in the input energy source required for this process. Blue hydrogen is derived from natural gas, utilizing a process called steam methane reformation. Blue hydrogen relies on carbon capture and storage to help mitigate its environmental effects. Green hydrogen, on the other hand, is generated using only renewable energy.
The amount of renewable energy development all in and around Southeast Alberta, it's a very, very exciting opportunity. There's no negative byproduct, there's no CO2 produced. It's the most environmentally friendly process of producing hydrogen.
But how can using hydrogen help us lower our emissions?
We're looking at the use of hydrogen in primarily two ways. When combined with water in a fuel cell, it generates electricity and clean water. Be for potential transportation fuels, heavy rail, truck traffic on Highway 1. Also, I see a day when we can also be blending hydrogen into our home heating fuels to help offset our carbon footprint.
Medicine Hat burns natural gas or methane to produce electricity. A certain amount of hydrogen can be blended into that fuel stream to basically make it greener, make it better for the environment, and produce less CO2 and less carbon. And because we own our own utilities, we're very uniquely positioned in the province to be able to do that.
Governments around the world have committed to reducing carbon emissions. One technology designed to help curtail carbon release is carbon capture, utilization, and storage, or CCUS for short. So, how does carbon capture work?
Basically, it takes the carbon from industrial processes and then secures and stores that carbon underground in a safe and reliable manner.
What's really unique about Medicine Hat, because we own our own oil and gas company, is we have geologic data that leads us to believe that we are ideally situated to be able to safely inject CO2 deep into the ground.
Through our exploration efforts and other efforts in the area, we're aware of a zone, multiple zones actually within the Medicine Hat area that have that capability of storing that carbon. You need a thick rock, you need it over a wide area, you need to ensure that it has a very stable cap rock over top of it, and it has not been drilled extensively. And we have that within the City of Medicine Hat and within this area.
Carbon taxes are a primary tool to promote the transition to a lower emissions future. These taxes punish heavy emitters of carbon by legislating increases in the amount of tax per ton of carbon emissions. The federal tax on carbon, initially set at $20 per ton of CO2 in 2019, is $50 per ton in 2022. It will rise $15 per ton each year until it reaches $170 per ton in 2030.
The driving force behind the move towards hydrogen and making the economy greener and more environmentally friendly is really the escalation in carbon taxes.
Today's emissions at that level of taxation will result in approximately $50 million of revenue leaving this city.
It's kind of the carrot and the stick. On one hand, the stick is the carbon taxes, and the government is telling you, get in line or you're going to have to pay more taxes. And then the carrot is basically doing the right thing for the environment and being an environmental steward.
A municipality, a region, an area that's able to provide carbon sequestering is going to attract investment. It's going to attract those companies with heavy carbon footprints that want to decarbonize.
We are viewing CCUS, carbon capture, utilization, and storage as an absolutely key, essential business retention and expansion project for the City of Medicine Hat.
Everyone's looking for tax revenue. Everyone is looking for that next job creator. Carbon capture will generate jobs in terms of not only its exploration phase, the construction phase, the operating phase, but those job numbers will pale in comparison to the jobs that will come with those companies that are heavy emitters looking to locate.
There are literally tens of billions of dollars that have been set aside to support CCUS and hydrogen by the federal government. Let's put Medicine Hat at the front of the line for that money.
It all adds up to a plan that will securely and positively position the City of Medicine Hat to manage future carbon tax increases, attract and maintain jobs, and meet our environmental commitments.